He didn't come for attention. He came to watch his daughter walk across a stage she earned with sweat and silence. But before the applause, before the medal touched her chest, two men decided he didn't belong. And what happened next silenced the entire hall.
The auditorium was gleaming. Rows of chairs aligned with military precision. Flags stood tall behind the podium. Uniforms shimmered. Rank carried weight in every handshake and nod. It was a ceremony for excellence, young cadets being honored before their families, their future ahead. In the second row, 3 seats from the center aisle, sat a man in a dark suit. He didn't wear his medals. He didn't need to. His posture said enough. Straight spine, hands still, eyes alert, but gentle. His name wasn't announced. No spotlight found him. He blended in like he always had. But someone noticed. 2 private security guards, not military, suits too tight, attitudes too loose. They saw a black man sitting in the VIP section without a name tag. They approached. Whispers at first. "Sir, this section is reserved." He replied, calmly, "I know. I'm here for Cadet Avery." The guards exchanged a look, then leaned in. "She requested VIP seating for her family. You're not on our list." "She's my daughter." No apology, no check, just suspicion tightening in their throats. He stayed seated. He'd sat through firefights quieter than this. Whispers in the row behind him started to stir. Some heads turned. The ceremony on stage was still going on, but the real attention was shifting. The guards leaned down further. "Sir, we're going to have to ask you to relocate." Still calm, but firmer this time. "I'm not moving. My daughter's name is about to be called." One of them stepped forward. The tone changed. Less polite, more public. And that's when it happened. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then, the first SEAL stood up. He didn't speak. He just moved his chair back and rose. Then another, and another. Eyes widened. Silence thickened. 4 men, quiet, unmoving, like sentinels.
They saw a black man in a suit, sitting where they didn't expect him. What they didn't see was the battlefield stitched into his spine, the lives he saved, the limbs he left behind. He never needed to raise his voice, because the men who knew him rose in silence. His name was Marcus Avery. Once he was nothing more than a name on a list of volunteers. Then came the wars, the deployments, the brothers he carried. 5 tours, 3 continents, 2 bullets he never got removed. 1 flag folded and handed to him after his wife passed while he was away. He never asked for thanks. He only asked for time with his daughter. At that ceremony, Marcus wasn't wearing a uniform, but every part of him still stood at attention, even seated. The guards didn't know. They didn't ask. They saw only the surface, a silent black man in a seat they believed didn't belong to him. But the men seated 3 rows behind, they knew. They had served beside him. One of them had watched Marcus charge into gunfire to drag out 2 wounded Marines. One owed him a life, another a spine. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then 4 SEALs stood up one by one. But long before they stood, they saw the storm coming. The guards were still pressing, voices slightly louder now, enough for nearby families to hear. "Sir, this area is reserved for authorized guests." He responded once more, controlled, firm. "My daughter is Cadet Avery. Check your list again." They didn't. Instead, one guard shifted forward, the other gestured toward the aisle. The daughter's name hadn't been called yet. She sat on stage. She saw it happening. And so did the SEALs. They made no sound, no threat, no sudden move, but they knew exactly what Marcus Avery had done for them and what he represented in that moment. This wasn't about ego. It was about dignity. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then 4 SEALs stood up, one by one, like a silent salute.
In a room full of polished metals, honor didn't wear rank. It didn't shout. It didn't ask permission. It simply stood, one man at a time, until the silence became louder than any order ever given. The first SEAL stood, without a word. He wore no uniform that day, no badge, no insignia, just denim and a quiet stare. But the way his spine straightened, that was years of discipline still alive in him. The guards paused mid-sentence. Something in the room shifted. Then behind him, another chair scraped the polished floor. A second man rose. Then a third. And finally, a fourth. They didn't speak. They didn't glare. They just stood. 4 men. 4 shadows of war. 4 living reminders of what real brotherhood looks like. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then 4 SEALs stood up, one by one. And now, they were standing. Across the stage, the general in charge noticed. His gaze narrowed. Around the room, whispers dissolved into pin-drop silence. The guards shifted uneasily. They knew what this meant. They were now surrounded by something they couldn't intimidate. Respect. Marcus Avery didn't look back. He didn't even blink. He just stayed seated, hands folded in his lap, calm, immovable. Because the men behind him had already made their move. One of the guards opened his mouth, but said nothing. They slowly backed away, not defeated by force, but by presence. The audience sat frozen, watching something few had ever witnessed. True military loyalty without ceremony. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then 4 SEALs stood up, one by one. Not for revenge, not for drama, but to say, not this man, not here, not ever. Some acts make headlines. Others make history in silence. No medals were handed out that day, but every soldier in that room walked away knowing honor isn't spoken, it's stood for. The guards left. They didn't apologize. They didn't need to, because by the time they backed off, the whole auditorium had seen what they were, and more importantly, who he was. Marcus Avery never stood. He didn't need to. Others did it for him. The moment passed, but no one forgot it. When his daughter's name was called, the room finally clapped. But it wasn't just for her anymore. It was for the kind of blood that ran in her family, for the man who raised her right and stayed silent when he could have shouted. She walked across the stage, eyes glassy. Before receiving her medal, she paused, turned, walked down the steps, and hugged her father. Not a polite, posed hug. A real one. A full body, nothing left unsaid kind of hug. The kind that says, I saw everything, and I'm proud you're mine. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then 4 SEALs stood up, one by one.
Later, a student filmed the moment. The video spread. Veterans reposted it. Officers commented under aliases. Semper Fi. Those guards picked the wrong Marine. Respect isn't on a list. Marcus was never interviewed, never quoted. He didn't want attention. He only wanted his daughter to feel proud. And she was. The nation watched, but she had known long before the footage went viral. Because when 4 SEALs stood for her father, it was only echoing what she had always believed, that the strongest people don't raise their voices. They raise others. 2 guards tried to eject a black Marine from the VIP row. Then 4 SEALs stood up, one by one. Not to fight, not to protest, but to remind the world what real service still looks like. End of story.